and they're going to be exactly in the position Nintendo was at this E3, with kind of tech demo CG trailers, a couple, announcements, but no real substantive third-party support. So Nintendo's going to have a slight lead and a slight edge over them, I think. It remains to be seen if Sony and Microsoft can catch up to that, I think.
Oh, I'm gonna have to disagree with a little bit that you said. For one, I can't stand by it having the best ports, and the only reason why I say that is most developers, I'm just saying this in general, most developers really don't put any extra effort into any particular version whenever they're doing a multi-platform game. They just generally have a basic build and they release it on both systems.
Right.
I mean, PS3 and 360 right now are great examples of that. The PS3 with the Blu-ray definitely has a lot more potential because there's a lot more space that they can use, but there aren't really many multiplayer games that the PS3 version has like extra content to it,
right,
or looks a lot prettier or anything like that.
Well,
the only one I can think of is I think The Darkness had some extra TV shows and some extra movies that the 360 version didn't have. I think LA Noire maybe had one extra case on it.
Right. Well, by better ports or best port, what I really mean is since it's a stronger system, by default, a lot of the limitations based on the hardware of the 360 and PS3 will be gone. Like I think we'll see a lot more ports that are 1080p on Wii U and 720p on PS3 and 360, stuff like that. Just because the hardware is more powerful and it can, just by default kind of offer that boon to the game.
Again, I'm going to have to disagree just because as of right now, the PS3 definitely has the potential to do 1080 and as well as the 360, but no developer actually does any games in 1080. If you look at the back of the box of any PS3 game or 360 game, very, 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 very few of them actually use the full potential of the system or even remotely go close to the full potential of the system.
Right.
So even though the Wii U is more powerful, no one is reaching that far. They're just doing enough that looks good, that satisfies them, and it's just stopping. Now that might not be the most wonderful development idea, but that's just just the general mindset that a lot of developers had. Hey, 720 looks good, it's cheap to develop, we can get stuff out relatively quickly. This is just what we're going to settle because it's also going to be something that's going to be most consumer bases, price range. Not everyone has a 1080p TV, but chances are most people are going to have one that's at least 720.
Right. I do kind of agree. I do kind of agree with you that the developers are probably going to take the laziest way out when they're porting their stuff along. Putting aside the resolution issue, I do think that increasing the resolution on Cafe, just taking the same game, exact same game, putting it on Wii U and increasing the resolution will be supported well. Putting that issue aside, if we consider things like frame rate drops and tearing and stuff like that, I think you'll see a lot less of that in the Wii U port of the games because the system is better able to keep up with the game and the engine and everything that it's running at the same time.
Maybe, but again, it's just going to come down to, is it really worth it? Is it really worth going out and spending a couple $100s on a system for slightly less lag?
Right.
Probably not for most people.
Right. But I do think having that library there is important in case anybody is, coming into gaming and looking at what's out there and what they should get. I also think it's important that I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Like, I definitely agree. Having more options available and having more variety is a good thing. You never can go wrong with that. It's just a matter of, is it going to be good for the majority of your consumer base? And that's the only thing that I kind of feel like Nintendo didn't really think through thoroughly. Yes, cool, you got third-party support. Yeah, you got some, really big name titles and some stuff that looks really good. And cool, you've got some exclusive features that, is only going to work with your system. Because you got some pretty neat concepts and stuff. But how many of your fan base, how many of the people that you're marketing this to are actually going to say, hey, being able to look at my health bar on this $60, $70, $80, however pricey the tablet's going to be on this multi-$100 system is totally worth it.
Right.
That's another thing that's really got me really worried right now is Nintendo hasn't talked about a price at all. Even in the past interviews with GTV, talking to Reggie tried to avoid that question as much as possible,
right.
and started talking about how you're investing in the value of a product and how value and price are different. Which maybe concept-wise they are, but still, people want to know how much it's going to cost to decide whether or not it's even worth their time.
Right.
And right now, the fact that the remotes are already $40, attaching an LCD screen to it, even if it doesn't have any extra hardware or anything inside of it, it's going to probably jump up in price at least $10 to $20.
Right. Well, there's a couple things. As far as the price goes, they probably don't even know yet. It's still a year away from launch, as I keep saying. So the Wii's price wasn't announced until 2 months before it came out. So that's probably still up in the air. That said, the system is using technology, from what I've seen, from 2008, 3 years ago. So I don't think it'll be that expensive. I think it'll be around $300. And as far as the controller goes, Miyamoto has said they're not selling the controllers separately, at least for now. That's the plan, which is a really weird decision. But there you have it. You won't be able to buy the controller separately. They'll be with every system.
It's gonna be quite a sight to see once everything starts to kind of get going.
Right. Okay. Any other E3 topics we should talk about? Anything else important that was shown today that you want to talk about?
Not really. I mean, most of the stuff's just been, here's a trailer for this game, here's an interview with this developer, so on and so forth. There really hasn't been any big, surprisingly huge announcements that we don't already know about.
Right. Alrighty then. So I guess that's the end of this podcast. I still do want to do maybe one final one at the end of this week. Just, kind of wrap everything up and, give our general thoughts on the conference and the games and the systems after, sleeping on it for a few days and, seeing and hearing and reading everything that's coming out of the conference, developer hands-on or developer interviews and, hands-on reports and stuff like that. How was, you said you liked First Class?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I feel like I didn't waste my time or my money.
Right. Well, when I came out of the theater, I was just, kind of blown away, but, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, you know what? It was a good movie, but it wasn't a great movie. I'm looking forward to getting it on Blu-ray and watching it again, at least.
Yeah, maybe because I don't know too much about X-Men's origin and each individual character, I was able to kind of enjoy it a little bit more because I do know there was some stuff that obviously wasn't true to the comics or anything.
Mm.
But if you're just looking at it as an entertainment, movie, just something to go and see with a couple of friends like I did, it was worth the price I paid.
Yeah, a lot of people I've seen have gotten hung up on it's not following the comics, but that's not really an issue for me. If anything, I watched the X-Men Evolution cartoon, which is better than the '80s cartoon, by the way, Spooey, shout out. Um, but I don't really hold First Class or any of the movies to that standard. It has to rigidly follow what exactly happened in the comics, because if you do that, then you get some pretty bad movies. I can't remember any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are a couple.
So yeah, that's what I thought of it.
Alrighty, so knee-jerk reaction, E3 2011, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Middle.
Middle.
To tell you the truth, I mean, nothing like completely blew me away, and I'm not like really disappointed with this year. A lot of the stuff that was announced is stuff that, again, we already knew about. Right. It was just a matter of waiting for it to be confirmed.
Right. Yeah, this E3 was kind of lame as far as, megatons and surprise announcements go. Um, you know, next year will probably be a little bit better, I think, just because this year was kind of bland. Um, as for me, I'm kind of like stuck in the position between, the middle and the fully, thumbs up. So I'm kind of in the middle there. Um, at the very least, this E3 has convinced me to get a 3DS as soon as I can, just because the Nintendo games they showed were really amazing. But, I'm still kind of, tepid on Wii U and where, all this is progressing to.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at getting my own 3DS, probably around Christmas time. I want to wait to see what bundle they release and if they announce any new colors at Tokyo Game Show.
Right. You did you play the original Wild World on the original DS?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I had a fucking shark, man.
We never played together, even though it was online.
I think we tried to, but I don't know. Right. We just never did.
I remember.
I no longer have. I no longer have it.
Oh. I remember us playing Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time.
There needs to be a new fucking Crystal Chronicles game. That was so much fun.
Yeah, they should. I remember the lag on Echoes of Time being pretty bad. It was like 2 seconds. You'd press a button and 2 seconds later it would happen. But it was still kind of fun, I think.
It was still really enjoyable. I always recommend it to people when they ask for a good RPG on the DS.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy. Crystal Chronicles was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe not the greatest game if you're like hardcore turn-based RPG, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah. It was actually an action RPG, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. So that wraps up this podcast. Thanks for listening, and check back later this week as we give our final thoughts and hopefully have a couple more people join in and, speak their minds.
Tell them to get their lazy asses out of bed.
Or find their microphones or buy one. Jeez.
God damn, they're only like $10 at Walmart.
I know, right? All right. Thanks, Steph. Talk to you later.
See you around, man.
Woke up late this morning, a storm was really rolling. Frogs and dogs are raining from the sky. Everything seems awkward to me, nothing's just as it should be. If this keeps on, I'm sure I won't get by. But then I close my eyes and try to smile. I know things are bad and getting worse, but after all this I can rest a while. And then I'll party, 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 party. Join us, party, party. Join us, party, party. Join us, shake your day away and you can party, party. Join us, party, party. Join us, party, party. Join us, shake your blues away.
Yo, reggae vacation on.
This body's shaking and it ain't just shaking here. I see that smile you're grinning ear to ear. Sing this song and you should really sing it clear. Just sing along with us. Party, party, join us, party, party, join us, party, party, join us, shake your day away and you can party, party.
Oh, I got this shit.